We say what they can't radio.
What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Young, Gifted, and Black. Today, I have some of my good friends. Actually, they're my family, and I'm glad that they found time to come through and show me some love and be on my podcast. So, I'm going to start with ladies first. Introduce yourself, Dailey.
Hi, I'm Dailey. I am the owner. Am I saying what I do?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm the owner of H2 Salon, Brooklyn. We're on 473 Tompkins Avenue, and we
Okay.
specialize in naturally curly hair.
Beautiful. How long have you been in business?
This is year 7 for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
That means that business is going good.
Very good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My brother, Slim, how you doing today?
All right, yourself? Yeah, my name is Slim. I'm the owner of H2 Barbershop located at 176 Ralph Avenue.
Yes. How long have you been in business?
Now 4 years now.
Ah, beautiful. So, I wanted to every episode. I really like to have people within the community that's striving for greatness, whether it's businesses, whether they have their own business or establishment, or they're an entrepreneur, or whether they have a good career. As long as they're doing something positive, I would like to have them on my show where we can converse and have good conversation. One of my first questions, we're gonna start back with you, Dailey, is what got you into doing hair, and where did that passion come from?
So I always did hair. I did hair through college. I actually have a degree in secondary education, and I was a junior high school teacher.
Okay.
I was living in Philly. I hated it, and I decided I wanted to move back to New York. So if I was going to move back to New York, then I wanted to be creative, and really hair is art to me. So I said, I'm going to do art. I'm going to take a chance because I got a degree in teaching, and I can always go back to it. But I've always loved doing hair since I was a child. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And how did that evolve into you getting your own shop?
It was kind of random. I was working for somebody in the city who wasn't the greatest employer. I really didn't love it there, but I thought that I would stay there. I had spent a lot of time there, I guess I got a little complacent, and then one day my brother was bicycling past this place, and he was like, yo, it's a shop for rent. And I didn't think anything of it. And my husband at that time was like, well, I'm going to open a barbershop. But he doesn't cut hair. He's an accountant by trade. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And then I got into almost a physical altercation with my boss, my then boss. And I just kind of threw my shit in a garbage bag and left. And I was like, I don't have to deal with this. And I got home and I was like, well, let me just kind of put myself in this barbershop. I'll just have my one little chair in the back. And now I have 9 chairs and no barber.
It's funny how things evolve.
Yeah, so here we are.
Yes. And I've been to your shop. It's one of the nicest salons that I've ever been in.
Thank you.
Really enjoy. You allowed me to do a photo shoot in there. So I really appreciate.
No
and I'm glad
worries.
that I appreciate that you pay attention to detail, because the shop, your salon is amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. So Slim, what's up? We met about, 3-4 years ago?
No, it's longer than that because the shop been open for 4 years.
Okay, so we met about 4 years ago. I remember me and you right there on Fulton Street. You was doing News 12. I passed you my card. Ended up coming by the shop, and you ended up being my mentor as well as my friend, showing me a lot of things. How did you get into cutting hair? Was it just you just started opening up your own shop? Or
Nah,
what was
my
the
story
process?
is not as extensive as hers. It's a good story. It was on accident.
Okay.
Yeah, it definitely was on accident. My mom, she owned a salon downtown Brooklyn on Duffield.
Okay.
Not too far from what is that, Planet Fitness is down there? My uncle, before he passed away, he was a celebrity hairstylist.
Okay.
My grandfather cut hair. That wasn't what I seen in my future.
Because it was running in the family.
But a cousin of mine, he cut his little brother's hair, and it just was bad. I said, I think I can fix it. Had no idea that it was going to work out.
Okay.
But it worked.
You fixed it before getting training or anything like that?
Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing.
Okay.
I'm saying I think I can fix it, but it didn't work out.
Okay,
But, it just was better than what it was, and but it worked out. And then I ended up cutting hair in my first barbershop at the age of 16.
Okay.
Yeah, a guy named King. He had a shop on Fulton Street. He had 2 shops called Ancestral Cuts. So his mom owned a huge shop where he was part owner. Then he owned one on Fulton between Ralph and Buffalo. And he gave me my first start. He gave me the motivation to say, I think you are better than what you think you are.
Amazing.
So, then now here I am.
And that evolved into you putting your efforts and taking the chance of opening up your shop.
Yeah, well, that also was on accident because I was helping a female that I know look for a location. My mind was making sure she was good. You know how I do. Like
Yes.
I'm always for someone else.
Absolutely.
And then the shop that I actually own now, we went to that shop and I knew the landlord, but he was like, "That's not available." So I helped her open up another spot not too far away.
Okay.
He called me maybe 3 months later and said the spot's available. So I'm saying, I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it ended up working out,
Yes.
it was just God's plan. It wasn't really,
I mean, I've been in a lot of barbershops, and I would say that you have one of the best barbershops that I've been in.
Appreciate
I've
that.
gotten a lot of experience as far as how to evolve into a better man, a father, great barbershop talk, and you have taken it upon yourself to mentor me and support me just like you're doing now. So I really do appreciate it, man.
No doubt.
It's beautiful to have strong role models within the community that reach out, because it's not like when I reach out to y'all always busy, or you told me that you might be busy, but you found time. So this is the type of stuff that motivates people like myself to keep going. You know what I
Right
mean?
on.
So let's move on to the next question. Well, we kind of answered the next question of what made you want to open up a barbershop or a salon. So let's switch it up a little bit. Was the process what was the process like, though? Because it might be somebody watching that want to open up a barbershop or a salon, and they might think that they could just throw some money in there and boom, they could be successful. Was the process easy? Was it intensive? Like, what was it like?
Well, I would say for me, it was laborious and intensive.
Okay.
It took me a year to actually open. So I was paying rent on a space that I wasn't working in, and I was working out of my house, because what I would do was I would work and I would pay for a contractor to come and do some stuff. Then I would work some more and
Do a little bit, yeah.
a little bit at the time, because it wasn't planned.
Yes.
You know, it wasn't planned, and it wasn't planned to be a salon. So things are a little bit different in a salon versus a barbershop. You talk about plumbing,
right.
Equipment like that, a whole bunch of equipment. So it took me almost a year to get it
everything
open,
together.
and then I was in
Dryers
there by
and-
myself.
Hair dryers and steamers and
Yeah,
sinks
all
and-
that
yeah.
stuff. Yeah. So it was. I cried a lot. I cried a lot. It was arduous. It was expensive. It was almost painful. It was like, I don't know. I don't have children, but I can imagine it was like having a child. Like, it was just a lot. And I just remember like having my wall covered in papers with lists and lists and lists and lists and lists of things that I need to do in terms of licensing, business licensing, making sure that all the vendors that I were using had my EIN number, which is your employee ID number in order to buy products, and yada, yada, yada. Certification of, there's a lot of things with cosmetology, insurance for
Yeah.
the business, insurance for me. In terms of liability insurance, that was a whole big thing, finding payroll, paychecks, and I really
A lot
kind
of
of had
details.
yeah, and you don't realize if you're going to do it right, what you have to do. It's a lot of small things that go into it.
I understand. Well, as you could see, the hard work paid off, and I'm glad that you stayed in.
Yeah, I mean, it's still hard work.
Yeah.
It's still
It don't stop.
it's
still
day-to-day
pay- and still
responsibility.
paying off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What about you, my brother? What was the process like? Like in the beginning stages of you getting your shop, finding barbers, building up your clientele. I'm quite sure.
Yeah, it was for me. It was pretty easy.
Okay.
Because remember, my transition was from a block away. Like her, there was a situation with the previous shop owner. So it was like, I don't know if you've seen the movie. What was it? The NWA movie. It's almost like Dre transitioning from Death Row to Aftermath.
I got you.
Right, so I had a lot going on in that shop. Cutting hair with bulletproof vests on. There was pit bulls. It was everything that was going on in the shop. You had to really cut hair almost with a gun on you because you never know
What was
going
going
to
to happen? Yes.
So as I'm getting in contact back and forth with the landlord from my previous spot, I was taking my customers, and letting them know I'm transitioning. Don't worry, everything's going to work out. Everything's going to work out. Mind you, I was going into the hospital. I had to fly out to Chicago to have surgery. So before and after, I'm writing down my plan, like, the list. You have to have this list, these goals.
Yes.
So the transition was just, I was so determined at that time. Like, the shop was just, it wasn't working out. It wasn't conducive. My mom was having nightmares, and my pastor, he was saying, this is something that's gonna happen to you. So, and mind you, I already went to jail behind that same barbershop. It was just crazy. So me leaving was very,
a
very
blessing.
simple. And then I had some extra money just laying around that I had no idea what I was gonna do with it. So everything came, again, I just can't leave them out. It was always in God's plan what was gonna happen. So that's how it worked out. It was like really an easy transition.
That's amazing. So let me ask you a question though, because you cut a lot of celebrities hair. A lot of people know you for being one of the best barbers in New York City. So you're telling me in the beginning stages it just was like that, or what got you there to that?
See, when I was in the other shop, I treated it like my own. But he didn't have that vision. You don't cut hair. You don't understand the magnitude of this type of business. You do what you do. So I always ran it like that. But a lot of things got in the way. A lot of egos got in the way. So I said, if I opened up my own, this is things that I would do and what I wouldn't do. I have to give him, using this word, I have to give him props for all the bad things that took place. Because I learned what not to do. You don't treat people this way. You don't carry this way. You don't do this way. So now when I opened up my own, it was just like, it was a cakewalk.
No, I understand.
It was literally like a cakewalk. The only problem I have right now is dealing with my employees.
Talk about it.
That's, with your employees, you have your own. No one's going to treat it how you treat your own.
Talk about it.
You have, and I love those dudes, but they don't respect your business as if it's,
theirs.
Yeah,
Okay.
So it's sometimes it's extremely difficult. It's like dealing with children sometimes.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I understand. One thing I've learned from just being an entrepreneur going on 5 years now is that as much passion and love people have for you, they're never going to do it like you. The way you work, the way y'all have put yourself in a position. I done came to the shop at night, you still cutting hair at 10:30. You've been cutting, then he's there at 8:30. You know what I mean? Or you can't curse in the shop. There's no really just hanging out in the shop. So I get now where you got all those good habits.
You have to set the standards.
You gotta put a dollar in the jar. You know what I'm saying? I done put hella dollars in the jar because I cursed and there was a kid in the shop. Make sure you put that dollar. But these are the habits that keep you wanting to come to the shop, where it makes you respect it, that he respects his business. So let's talk a little more about that though before we get to the next question. As entrepreneurs, I haven't gotten to employees yet, but how do you think you work on that? Because I see you was in it. You was preaching behind what he was saying. So
I mean, it's difficult. It's difficult to micromanage. And who wants to be a micromanager? Who wants to tell adults, this is not the 13th grade. This is real life.
Yeah. You
should be able to be on time, on task, on target. And the fact that I have to remind you of that 2 years in, 3 years in, 4 years in is problematic. So what I've learned is that you have to fire people. There's an instinctual gut feeling that you feel, and
that's my problem.
Yeah, it took me a while, but you recognize it, you see it, you see the problems, you look forward, you still see more problems, and you're just like, I have to get rid of them. And it's difficult because people are earning you money, they're there to make money, you make money off of them. It's a business and you're running a business, but I'm not running a daycare. So at the end of the day, I was there by myself in the beginning, and I remind all my employees at every staff meeting, when the door finally closes on this place, I'll be here by myself. I also, make it very clear to my staff, my expectation is not for you to be with me forever. I don't own you. I'm not in charge of your destiny or your life. That's God's choice. What I would like you to do is be a full participant while you're here. But if this is not the place for you, then I encourage you to find somewhere that works for you. And I'm going to give you all the tools necessary to know how to open your own business. That is my hope, that everybody who works for me will open their own business.
I understand. So that was amazing. Thank you for that input. What do you take from that? What do you think is necessary to find that right employee? Or do you think, like Dailey said, it's just something you can't
teach hustle.
You cannot.
Right, you can't teach hustle. So I've given pretty much everything. I've given away clients. I've given just to have that motivation for someone to keep going. Like,
Everybody doesn't have it.
Everybody
and they think
doesn't-
they do.
everybody
Everybody
doesn't
wants
have
to be
it.
a finesser, but some people don't got the finesse.
It's just, you see things and you try to like give them little tricks, little trades to do better, to upgrade their skill, the mannerism. Because it's me personally, what I believe in is barbers and beauticians, we're therapists first before we're actually, doing our actual job. Well, even while we're doing our job.
Absolutely.
So the service at the end of the day is a perk, right? So you have these dudes that don't know how to gravitate towards clients. It's just always it's a certain knack you have to be a professional beautician or barber, right? And a lot of people lack that, especially it seems like in this generation. People forgetting about valuable things, right? Key lessons that you're supposed to bring to the table. Everybody's just in it for the money. It's a bigger picture.
Yes.
It's a much bigger picture. And I've taught a lot, but some people just don't get it. Or sometimes I feel like they don't want to get it. They just want the quick buck. But it's longevity, because this dude is going to bring his kid. Dudes will cheat on their girl before they cheat on their barber.
Absolutely.
So it's a bigger picture that they're just not getting, and I don't know. It's hard. That's why it took me so long to fill that last chair, because one, he has to mesh with all the other barbers. Two, I need someone that's permanent, not perfect.
I understand.
I need a permanent fixture inside the establishment, and
I mean, what just came to mind is I'm gonna say it this, because I know you and I'm getting to know you, and I'm getting to know you as well. Y'all are very seasoned in y'all craft. Y'all have worked to master y'all craft. You know what I mean? So I think the problem might be is that it's gonna be hard to find beauticians and barbers like yourselves, because it's like when I come to you get my haircut, the alcohol got a good smell to it. You know what I mean? Like you spray the sheen. I'm like, what type of sheen is this?
it's when passion meets purpose.
You're in the detail of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing you go get hot rags, putting rags over people's face. So like that's something that's intentional. You know what I mean? Like some people, it's like, yo, I'm about to cut hair. Oh, I made my money to pay my booth and I could pay my bills. I'm going home. That's it. They don't want to think about cutting hair. See, y'all salons, your barbershop is y'all lives. You know what I'm saying? It's not something y'all turn off and on.
Well, even before, and sorry to interrupt you, even before I owned my own salon, I was a hard ass worker. I now have problems I have sharpshooting pains that run from my foot to my shoulder. My foot is a whole size bigger from when I started 15 years ago.
I have sciatic nerve.
I can't ride a bike because of my sciatica. My posture is horrible. But I worked, no matter where I am, and we can say anything we want, right? Yeah. I work really fucking hard. I work really hard.
Is it on your left side, the sciatica?
It's my right. It's here.
Mine's on my left, right.
I can't ride a bike. I can't. I just can't do it. I want to so bad, but I'll be in pain. So it's like, I remember working at a salon and we were open 6 days a week, and the first client was at 8 a.m. and the last was at 8 p.m. And so that meant that I had to come from Brooklyn to be in Manhattan on 9th Avenue, 54th, 55th. I had to be there at 7 a.m. 6 days a week, and I left at 11 because when everybody left, I was in charge of cleaning. So nothing is beneath me. I've cleaned toilets, I've mopped floors, I've cleaned mirrors, I've done stuff. Nothing is beneath me. I know hard work. And I think that a lot of people, and I hate to be this person, right? Because I'm 38, but this social media shit got a lot of people fucked up.
Absolutely.
And it's a lot of young women, and I'm sure young men, who see shit and they think it's so instant. Like, I'm 15 years in this shit. I worked so fucking hard, and I still work hard. I still sometimes am in there by myself. Like, all right, you got a whole hour of cleaning to do.
That's the difference between a boss and a leader, right? Yeah.
So I think that people they get this instant gratification, right? They get some money, right?
And some likes.
They get some likes, and that they think that's enough to sustain them for a long, long time, but it's not enough. Yes, I'm on social media. Should I be doing more? Absolutely. But in reality, I don't really have time. And you have to be hesitant of people, and no disrespect to anybody, but somebody posting all the time, they got a whole bunch of time. Because I don't. I'm behind that chair. I'm working. I'm managing. I'm doing shit. I don't have time to be on the internets all day. I don't. I don't have time to play.
No, I understand.
And a lot of these young women, I'm going to speak for people who do hair, like they shit look good on the internet. They can't do shit. They've been doing hair for 3 years and can't do a damn thing. But it looked good and people like them.
Yeah.
And all them likes don't turn into dollars.
No.
Do anything for clout.
I think that's the main. I think that's the main problem in this generation right now is that we're so fixated. I did a video that I ain't post yet, but the basis of it was, does your insides look like your outsides? Because our outsides, we make sure we look good, we make sure we smell good, but are a lot of us doing that work on the inside to make sure that we're good inside? Do you think? You want to answer that?
I have a hell of an answer for that, but I'll let you go first.
I think people do things with no intention. No purpose driven, no intention, nothing. They do it. I've seen people post pictures of them by their grandmother's bedside as she's dying. That's wildly inappropriate.
What's your sign?
I'm a Capricorn.
Hey, I literally just spoke about this in the barbershop the other day. Because you take 50 pictures to make sure you're good, but you post a picture of your grandmother that's dying. It's like, I don't want to. Yeah, I just spoke about that.
It's very intimate moments that we think are shareable moments. This is like, are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
Like, so people are doing things with no intention. No, there's no purpose. Their drive is purposeless. Their drive is to be seen for the outwardly things and being praised for that. But there's nothing inside. There's a lot of people walking empty. And I say that those people will have limited lives because they're walking around with blinders on. They only want to do what they want to do. You're limiting yourself on what you can do and the things that you can absorb and the life that you can live and the experiences that you have because you're so concerned with other shit that don't matter.
Right.
Absolutely.
Those people are walking around not necessarily financially broken, but spiritually broken.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you gonna answer now?
No, she's said enough, and I agree with everything she just said.
Okay, I do
definitely.
too. So basically, I had a question, and I didn't know if I wanted to answer to ask it, but it goes in line with what we're talking about right now, right? So as entrepreneurs and leaders in the space where as entrepreneurs and leaders in the space where a person's image is your job to a certain extent, do you believe that current trends are better or worse compared to the 90s and the early 2000s?
Well, everything is on trend. There's always been trends. There's always been fads and trends, right? So the early 90s to 2000s, there were are we talking about hair trends, fashion trends?
Yeah, fashion, hair trends.
I mean, there was a whole bunch of trends then.
In the lens of, I see a lot of people coming in and out. You know what I'm saying? Like over the years of you doing hair, and as time progresses, like there's some unhealthy trends as it pertains to hair. If we want to talk about Black women and their hair, okay, talk about it.
I'm nervous about very young girls having extensions and wigs. When I was growing up, if you had one track, it was like, bitch, you better not tell nobody you got a track in your hair. Now it's like, can we put 3,000 bundles in one head of hair? I've seen young women who have a receding hairline, which is now permanent. It's called traction alopecia, but you're 18.
Because of what you've done thus far.
You've done too much. You've taken it, you guys look like Power Rangers. They look crazy. Like what happened to a young woman, and not that I wear my real hair all the time, but I'm a grown-ass woman. Right. But at 16, 17, 18, and 19, miss, if you don't go get a wash and wrap or do a natural curly style, but all these wigs and weaves for these young girls.
21 and 22 years old, getting your body done when you're not really all the way developed yet.
You're not developed at all.
Like that's also an issue.
That's problematic. I agree to that. I think that, like I said, going back to getting your body done, going back to perms and wigs and weaves, I think it goes back into people not being insecure or secure with themselves, and also the lack of role models, because you have the adults that's perpetuating and consistently doing these things because they're getting it from somewhere.
It's a Kardashian culture.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, I'll be honest, here's the true story. I thought Kim Kardashian, I was sitting there watching TV, this was a couple years ago, and my husband says to me, he was like, yo, I don't understand why she's famous. And I was like, bro, she's the lead singer of the Pussycat Dolls. He was like, Dailey, that's not Nicole Scherzinger. That is a whole nother person. I was like, oh shit, like this girl really don't do nothing. And let me not say she doesn't do anything because it's a full-time job being a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to discredit her. It is what she does is a full-time job, right? The fact that she has to look good every day when you go outside is a full-time job. But it's just like a lot of people don't have talent. And people are growing up and seeing people without any real talent or any real convictions or any real morals or any type of anything.
So let me ask you a question. As a person, you said you're 38 years old, right? What do you give back into the community and to the universe to assist in that problem?
I hope that I'm role modeling responsible behavior. I hope that when a young woman comes and sees me or anybody else that works for me, that she understands that we are hardworking Black women, that she's given the space and opportunity to express herself, and that we're instilling values in her just from a simple conversation. I'm always mindful of the conversations that I have with people who I'm having them with, because I think it's important to nurture, especially young Black women.
Absolutely, I agree. Well, for you, Slim, I've watched you do back to school drives. We've given out food in the streets on Thanksgiving. You have been given awards from the city from all your hard work and all your dedication. And I remember a couple of years back, we was talking, and I was like, "Yo, bro, it's all about the community, right? It's all about the support." He was like, "Nah, man. Like we we agreed to disagree on that." And then as we grew in the brothers, and as I got to watch you, I'm like, "Wait a minute, yo, brother, my brother doing a lot of community stuff, you know?" Like
I hated the word.
And what are you? Well, that's some of the stuff that you're providing. But what else do you think that you could provide as being a strong role model within our community?
What else?
Yes.
I'm just gonna keep on being consistent.
Okay.
That's it. Like
That's key.
it's no long and short of it. I'm gonna keep on being consistent.
Yeah.
I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing right now.
Better question. What motivated you to do? Because you being a successful barber and having a successful barbershop does not necessarily mean you have to do the things you have done within your community. So where did that come from? What switch? What clicked off in your head? What made you want to be a part of giving back to your community?
Because it was only right. Like God didn't have to bless me the way He did. Like for real, I've been in the street all my life. I'm not a spiritual person, but I do have to pay homage. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like He couldn't have brought me out of cancer. He couldn't have brought me out of them shots. He couldn't have brought me out of getting stabbed up. He couldn't have brought me out of, a lot of things that I've been through. Been homeless, right? So I'm obligated to give back and pay it forward. Right?
Felt that.
So whatever is the kid that needs it or the kid that doesn't need it. A conversation. No one's above a conversation, right? So you put forth that effort to say, again, the therapist before the barber. So I have a stone cold killer that sits in my chair. Then I have a doctor, a teacher, right? I have, so these conversations are needed, and you never know. The camera's always on, right? You never know who may need that said conversation.
Absolutely.
And the kids are always watching.
I agree.
Right? So you ask someone how do you get your child to read a book or do X, Y, Z? They don't do what you tell them to do necessarily. They do what they see you doing. Right?
Yes.
So I can, talk but you really got to walk it. So while the kids are there, they're watching. You think they're not paying attention, but they're paying attention. So I have the sign in the window, pull your pants up before you come inside the barbershop.
Yes.
Just down there. They don't never see me with my pants down. And I treat them with respect.
Absolutely.
So it's certain things that they'll follow suit. You just got to stay consistent.
I agree.
It's just a must.
So let me ask this question, right? Because this is some amazing stuff. Y'all some amazing people. But we all deal with adversity from family, from business, from friends. In the pockets of y'all creating y'all success, Has there been any times that you just said, yo, you know what, man, I'm not like I'm closing the shop. You know what? I'm closing the salon. Like I'm tired of
Every
this.
day.
Yesterday. Yesterday.
Every day.
So if that's okay, that's a perspective, right? So what gets you to the next day?
I
Waking
mean,
up.
it's a lot of things. It's my career. It's not a job, and I love doing hair. There's nothing. There's a couple other things, like meeting a millionaire and getting married to him. But I mean, there's nothing else I really want to do. Like I really enjoy doing hair.
I'm not doing a 9 to 5. I
Yeah,
don't have
no.
it. I can't. Right? 9 to 5 is not me.
Yes.
Right? I love the outcome. Right? It's the element of surprise. Because, I don't cut with the client towards the mirror. Right? They don't never face the mirror.
Okay.
It's that turn. That look makes me say, okay, I'm doing it again.
Okay.
Oh my God, I can't believe you. Yeah. I'm with you everywhere you go. I'm all in your life, right? Every client. You can downplay it as much as you want. But in hindsight, when you really think about it, I'm at your baby shower, right? I'm at your wedding. I was there when you met your girl, right?
Yeah, that's a fact.
See?
Yeah.
Right? I'm there
That's a
on
fact.
your dates and stuff like
Yeah.
that. My haircut is with you. I'm with you. So when I think of how important I am in a person's life, let's
That's
keep
what keep
it
it
going.
going.
Let's keep it going. Right?
You know what's funny though? Listening to y'all, you say it all the time, but barbers and salons, the good ones, they are really therapists because I done sat in a chair with Slim and like I didn't let it out. Where he be like, yo, bro, like give me a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I'm like, yo, I gotta go. I got some stuff going on and I need to let it out. And he also then gave me some real straightforward input, like not playing the parameters. Straight advice that helped me evolve into a better person. So what do you think about that impact of after making that person look good, after them getting up, looking in the mirror, like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, what about that impact of them talking to you in confidence and you giving them advice and learning to get to know them? Because y'all actually become like in a social worker, psychiatrist, psychology, like it's in the mind perspective because they're telling you their feelings, how they feel. So how do you feel about that input?
It's a very personal relationship. And I think mine is even more personal because I'm actually really, really touching them. To shampoo somebody's hair is to really put hands on them. It's very, very intimate. And then the conversation that follows can be super intimate. But as much as I give of myself to them in terms of therapy and support is what they give to me. So I've created a community and a network of really fantastic women who do a gambit of things. I've got museum curators, artists who are featured in MoMA. I've got artists that sing, and then I've got recovering addicts who are celebrating 20 years of recovery who have been to jail. You know what I mean? So I take from each of those women, and I'm so proud to know them. And it means a lot. It's a really special relationship that we have. And it's interesting. I've seen some women, I've watched their lives unfold. They've been with me for a long time. I've had clients who have died. They're no longer here. A lot of young women who are dying of, especially in this age range, 32 to 38, brain aneurysms. In the night, they just die. Breast cancer is another one for me. But I deal with people's life and love.
How do you deal with that?
It's hard. I tell you, I recently just had a young lady who I've been doing her hair. So I was there when she was dating, and then when she met her husband, and then when they got married, I was there for that. And then she came in, and I was late. And I'm never late, but I was late. And I was like, oh my God, she's upset with me because I'm late. So, I try to break the ice. I said, I'm so late. I'm a fuck up, yada, yada, yada. I was like, what's going on with you? How you doing? She's like, my son died. And I fell apart. My knees gave out. I had to excuse myself. I said, I can't be in front of her crying and she's not in front of me crying. And I had to go in the mirror in the bathroom and talk to myself and said, bitch, get your shit together. She needs you right now more than you know. and I had to go back out there and do my job.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
It's heavy. It's heavy. It's heavy. I couldn't believe it. I've seen her go through life and love, and now loss.
I felt that.
This was recently?
This is like 2 months ago.
Nikki?
No. No, not. I don't. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm about to say I just went through the same thing.
And so y'all go through similar perspectives. This is deep because I never looked at it in this perspective like that before. How do you deal with these type of things?
You do. It's your job,
Yeah,
right? You made the choice to take on this career.
absolutely.
It's your job. That's when she said it. I'm like, damn, this story sounds crazy. Because one of my customers died, 18 years old. I never even met his mom before. I cut his hair. He come to the shop. He talks so much shit. Oh my God, this guy. He talks so much shit. All he wants to do is play 2K. Slim, I'm telling you, put the money up. I put money up, I lose on him every fucking time. Every time. He convinced me. He always said, Slim, I'm telling you, this time for real. $100, $150, $200. You lose again? He gets out the chairs. The chair's wet. Every time. I think nothing of it. This fucking guy, he's sweating. Fast forward, I don't see him. Maybe 3 months. I think nothing of it. He's a good kid. He's never in no trouble. You know, he had just started smoking, just started having sex. You know, real frail. He just started putting on his little Balenciagas and stuff like that. And I see a post from someone that's, damn. When I see the post, I wake up maybe around 8 o'clock in the morning. I scrolling. I see the post. I see him. I scroll past it, thinking, nah, I go back. You see the praying hands. I said, nah. Before you know it, I'm tearing. I literally crying. I said, you know, somebody killed my little man, you know. Come to find out, you know, he died from some complications. His mom reached out to me through DM and says, I never met you before, but I want you to cut my son's hair one last time. I used to do this before, a long time ago, but it's different because now I'm dealing with someone that I know. I cut the dead all the time. You know, this is 7 years ago. Strangers, no problem. There's no attachment. I go and I said, you know, are you sure? She never calls me. You know, she keeps texting me. So I'm texting. I hate texting. She said, yes, I'm sure. You're his favorite barber. He always talks about my barber, celebrity barber. I said, please don't mention that. I don't hate people say that. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I get to the funeral parlor. And the guy, I get there. He's oh, Slim, I know so much about you. Take me to my boy. I get downstairs. It's really dark. It's cold. And I say, well, where is he at? Turn on the light. He's there. But it's 7 or 8 other dead bodies in there, which is all the way against the rules. I see him. I get to him. I talk to him. And, you know, it was just like, it was crazy because, again, you know, you have to put your shit to the side. You know, I look at him, I'm like, yo, this is crazy because I just cut you and you're alive and talking, and now I got to cut you laying down. And then you got to keep going. You got to put your shit to the side, remain professional. You got to stand firm and remember your job, right? You have to remember what you're there for.
People with dignity.
Right, yeah, right. This is the purpose.
I agree.
Yeah, so it was a trip, but I did video and, you know, took some pictures of me and my boy, and, you know, I watch him all the time. But again, you know, you got to remain professional.
You know, these are things that I never really thought about, but I think that great barbers and great beauticians, they make the world better, you know, because even myself, there's been times where I was just having a bad day and I was going through it, and I came to the shop and I hung out with Slim and I hung out with some of the other people in the shop, and you leave there, you know, feeling better, like you got
Elevated.
some stuff off your chest, you know what I'm saying? You laughed a little bit. You might have got some advice you didn't want to hear, but, you know, you left there better than what you, like, I never came into his shop worse than what I came in. You know what I'm saying? It's always like, even if I might not even show my mood, you be like, yo, what's up, Fish? You gonna be Fish? Like, yo, you good? Even if I know I'm like having the worst horrible day in the world, I'm like, yeah, man, because I know he don't like people complain. He's really serious about energy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
And if I'm going through something, I'm like, I'm not gonna come complain, but I'm just gonna come get the love of the shop. And I leave out feeling better. And there's millions of people that have this experience with their barbers or their beauticians, but I don't think a lot of us acknowledge that what y'all experience and what y'all go through, the hard work, the pains. Like, I never thought about this stuff. So I want to say thank you. And I know that there's people out here that have gotten their hair done, have gotten their haircuts. They want to say thank you because they probably don't even know the adversity that you face on a consistent basis. They just, in their mind, it's like you're cutting hair or you're doing hair. And it's so deeper than that. And I just got a glimpse of that because I talk to him every day, all the time. And I didn't know that he was experiencing some of these things. You know what I mean? Like, this is crazy. This is like a therapist kind of, you know what I mean? And I appreciate y'all because who's to say that the world would be a better place if it wasn't for the barbers and the beauticians, for people to be able to get that stuff off their chest.
We are the pillars of the community.
Yes.
The beauticians, barbershops, beauty shops, and churches. Well, it was a church at one time, right? The church is kind of like,
Yeah.
but we still are the pillars of the community,
I
regardless of what, because, you still have to come to us before you go to church.
I agree. Okay. Whew. This one, that story kind of, I got deep. I was about to start crying. I'm like, hold it together. He just talking about that. Right. All right, so we talked about it briefly a little bit, but let's get back to it, right? How has social media affected your business and your industry, in your opinion? What are the pros and cons?
I think. Well, let me say for my business, because I think we talked about the pros and the cons of
Other people.
but
Yes.
for my business, it's actually been a blessing.
Okay.
It's been an easy way to advertise for free, and I use the word free loosely because there's a whole bunch of caveats with that. But it's a way to be seen and for people to. It's like a lookbook for what you
do.
What you do, absolutely.
And how have you been able to allow it not to drive you crazy? Because a lot of people get addicted to social media. Their self-esteem is lowered or higher from social media. And a lot of people, from my perception of it, it has become like a space where it's hard to tell what's fiction or what's nonfiction. So
I think because of my age, I'm not sure if I attribute it to my age or just who I am as a person. I don't think anything on there is real. I'm one of those people. I don't take it all the way serious. I just don't. I'm like, y'all, this is pictures. So there's a level of detachment with me.
You talking about like in the grand scheme of it?
Yeah, like I just, you're posing for a picture.
I agree, but in the grand scheme of it, right, for this generation, there are so many young people that they think about killing themselves, they are depressed, they have anxiety, because their perception is that when they go on their social media, they see a bunch of different things. You see people with cars, with jewelry, people with salons, people cutting hair, people living life. They only show you the good stuff, right? Instead, bless somebody.
No, you can leave us out of that because because we're like this in comparison to the lies, right? Mm-hmm. She actually does hair.
Yeah,
I actually cut hair.
No, y'all real. I understand that.
But so when you have a situation where people are standing in front of someone else's car and making it hard for a dude that doesn't have a car and he wants this said female with the wavy hair and right, that's when the depression comes in. So you can't incorporate this type of thing.
I don't really understand. It's difficult for me to understand that. I'll be honest with you. I don't get it. It's bizarre.
Well, you're not supposed to. My grandfather said that. He said the moment you understand these niggas, the moment you become one of these niggas, right? You're not supposed to understand.
Okay, because I don't get
right.
it.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
Any types of feelings, I don't.
What I got,
I hear what you're saying, right? And I do understand for some people that this is life.
Yes.
I do understand, but I think, okay, so in the inception of Instagram, when it first started, I was on it. And I just remember looking at pictures and enjoying looking at pictures.
Now?
And that's,
Somewhere else.
but I also unfollow things that are not good for me.
Yeah.
And I'm quick to just unfollow. So there's a type of food that you eat, and one of it is knowledge. And if you're not taking in positive things and energy through this, whatever it is, this contraption, because this is a trick, right?
Super
Through that contraption, then you have to unplug from it. Like, I remember one time I was following some woman, and I was just like, you know what? She kind of doesn't make me feel good.
That's why I stopped following Casanova.
Like, she was there for spiritual guidance for women, but then she was playing R. Kelly. She had been a victim of rape and incest, but then she was like, oh, this is my damn song. And I was like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. So I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
It's not for me to get. So let me
Unfollow.
just unfollow.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. But I think people set themselves up for destruction when you're following things that aren't healthy for you.
They can't unlook.
I think that it goes back down to
It's like people who comment on something. Oh, she's ugly.
Unfollow.
Who are you?
Right.
Just don't look
They
at
do
it.
that to Safari a lot. You can just not follow him if you have something foul to say.
Right. Just say nothing.
I think that it comes from my working with young people a lot and then seeing what's happening in this generation. I remember about 8 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, I went to Chicago, took pictures, hung out, good time in Chicago. Came back, I was hanging out with my friend, we was having a drink. He was like, yo, you had a good time in Chicago? Let me see some pictures. I'm like, yeah. Showed him some pictures. He's like, oh, this is dope. He's like, yo, send me a couple pictures. I'm like, hey, nah, it's my man. We good friends. Send him a couple pictures. I figured he wanted to, maybe show somebody the food I was eating. I had no idea. That's my man. I ain't questioning it.
That's your man.
A couple days later,
You looking at
he
his
got
gram.
pictures of the pictures I gave him. It's up on his page. Like, yo, I'm in Chicago right now.
Set you right on up.
Chilling out, eating. People are commenting under it. Like, yo, boy, I didn't know you left. When you coming back? He commented back.
Right.
Like, I'll be back soon.
Right.
So I think that the perception.
BRB.
I think it was BRB.
BRB, yeah.
He was in the house.
He like, yo, I'll be right back. I'm coming right back.
He was
I'm
on
like,
Gates.
Like, I'm saying,
Right,
like, yo, this is crazy.
Bow Wow
Like,
challenge.
This is
Right.
yeah, like this is crazy, right? And I'm thinking to myself, like we have a lot of people have connected their self-esteem and what makes them feel good
Shit is creepy.
through what they show on social media and through what people think they have on social media. See, I'm from the era where I know that I have to work for what I get. I know that even if I get 20 sales this week of my t-shirts of Instagram, that I still have to go into the streets. I still got to pass on my cards. I still got to do podcasts and continue to evolve myself. And I also don't connect. Because, to be honest with you, social media get kind of addictive. It's like a new drug. And if you don't control it, I find myself like, oh.
So you
Whoa.
can put a timer on it.
Yeah.
So I also have a timer on mine. It's 30 minutes per day. My little timer comes on, and I come off.
That's it.
That's it for me.
Yeah.
You got to disconnect. And it's not any type of order. So, like, it just, I don't know. I just don't think it's real. I don't connect with it on a very real level. I like interactions with human beings.
I agree.
Like, I would never do internet dating because I like interactions with human beings.
That's what I
felt
told
the
you. I
same
hate
way.
texting.
Yeah, he does.
Right.
So-
I want to talk.
Yeah.
Right. I'm big on communication.
Absolutely.
Yeah, don't text my phone.
Okay.
I love a text message, though.
Well, we getting down to the last question, right?
See, there's that difference, right? Yeah.
We get down to the last question, and this is such a good time. I'm enjoying myself, right?
It's the deuce.
Yeah, it's that Duce. It's catching up. What separates your barbershop, right? We're going to give it you want to end it. What separates your barbershop from the other barbershops?
Because it's realistic. Yeah. No, it was a period.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no fluff.
I got you.
Yeah, there's no fluff. It's a real haircut and real conversations
That's it.
in a clean environment.
That's a fact.
Same.
Good vibes.
That's it.
Same.
I don't want no more. Couple dollars.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Same. We do a job. We're there to provide a service. So I have a handbook that we review every time we have a staff meeting, and I give to new employees. And under our philosophy for our salon, I can almost quote verbatim: everybody can do hair better than you, but what else are you providing? There's a young lady somewhere who's killing the hair thing, but she's working in some raggedy fucked up shit, and she got a bad attitude.
No substance.
Nothing. There's nothing there. But you know what? And I always tell my staff, if you see a young lady falling in here, you better break her fucking fall. You better slide it. That's the type of service I want you to provide.
Right.
That's amazing.
That's what I want you. It's service. It's service. It's making people feel good about what you're giving them. Let's think about places that you've eaten, right? Maybe the food isn't that great, but when the service is fucking stellar and you got a really fucking dope waiter who's into
Food kind of tastes a little bit better.
right? You be like, yo, that was a cool ass spot. And then you
right.
go back, you be like, that shit was trash. But nonetheless, like,
Right.
it felt good. It
vibe.
was an
Yeah.
experience.
I
That's
wanna
why you
invite
go
somebody else.
places.
I agree. So if we have a young person out there, adult out there right now, and they're thinking about opening up their salon or their barbershop, give me one piece of advice that you would give them, both of y'all.
I would say don't. I would say wait a little bit longer, get some more experience. You're very wet behind the ears and very green. You need to do a lot more work for a lot more people.
What age bracket are you speaking about?
You could be 18, you could be 25.
Oh, shit, hell
You could be, if you're just thinking about, you could be the person right now that's in somebody's, you could be just doing hair, you could just be nice at your craft or nice cutting hair, and you
But
want
you
to
can't
make
be
that
you can't be a jack of all trades and master of nothing. You have to be great at what you do first. And that's problematic. That's why a lot of people who do this don't make it. I knew what I was great at. I honed in on that craft. I made it work, but I also was I studied for a long. I never played myself, and I always humbled myself. I never played myself and said, I could do better than the motherfucker I work for. No, I didn't. I said, he knows what he's doing. Let me follow the leader. He knows what he's doing. He's got this on lock. Let me learn a lot more. Let me extrapolate all the information until there's nothing left for me to know before I decide I want to be big time. People don't want to do the work. They don't want to humble themselves. They want to move fast. Since when in life does life move that fast that you think that you can just skip all the small steps? You don't have enough information. Wait your patience.
It's this
Yeah.
that makes it, seem so simple.
And there's nothing wrong with being a worker. There's nothing wrong with being a staff member. There's nothing wrong with being a team member. Everybody doesn't have leadership qualities. They would like to believe that they do, right? But everybody's not a leader. And it's okay to take direction. And it's okay to be a team fucking player.
That's a fact. Teamwork make the dream work.
Everybody needs a team. Ownership is not for everybody.
I agree. Any advice that you have for any young barbers coming up, thinking about starting up their own shop?
Yeah, shit, man. Stay consistent where you at right now. Stay at that point and hone in on your craft.
Okay.
Before you even think about this opening up a shop. Oh my God.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
People be having
It's a
6 clients and think they could open up a shop.
It's a lot. It's really a lot. And you're not as good as you think you are. Like people
By
really
far.
think they're good, but you really don't be as good as you. It's a humbling experience, man. Like I done been through the trenches. I got my ass kicked a lot on a come up. When I'm thinking, light skinned, I'm nice. What I got.
Yeah.
Then I run into the big dog. And I'm like, shit. And I'm sitting here like this. Thought I had 10 clients.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was getting
Exactly.
clients taken. Like, nah, damn, you good, but I'm waiting on Emily. Emily's the guy. Emily Taylor, got to give him his. He's the one that taught me how to cut hair.
Okay.
Emily cut hair so good, you didn't have to get a shape up.
What you mean?
You didn't need a shape up. You had a Walkman on. You didn't need no shape up. Like his blend, everything,
His hair, it was
unbelievable.
different. It was different.
Unbelievable.
That's
And he had
a-
throw
that's a
dirt
good
in my
haircut.
face all the time. You thought you was good, right? Right? Yeah, this dude was amazing. But then now I'm Emily.
That's a
See?
fact.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, see? And then Emily's he's now retired and
Thank you.
but yeah, just keep going. Keep going.
Oh man, this has been such a great episode. I thank y'all for coming on. Where can they find you at again if they would like to get their hair done, new
H2
hairstyle?
Salon, Brooklyn at 473 Tompkins Avenue, ground floor.
Okay. And what about you? If they want a new haircut, want to get shaped up?
Just Us Barbershop located at 176 Ralph Avenue.
Okay. Well, my name is Kerrick Wise. This is another episode of Young, Gifted, and Black. Remember, you could do anything you put your mind to as long as you believe so. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll see y'all next time.
Thank you.